Good afternoon. Welcome back to Transformation Thursdays, where we highlight some of our agency's extensive work here in Northeast Louisiana. My name is Katie Terrell, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today's episode is special because we are talking about a new facility that we plan to open very soon, and that is our R.I.S.E Treatment Center. More to come on that treatment center here in just a few minutes. Our mission here at Northeast Delta HSA is to serve as a catalyst for individuals with mental health, developmental disabilities, and addictive disorders to help them realize their full human potential by offering quality, excellent care with greater accessibility. Our vision is to build a unified Northeast Louisiana where individuals are really thriving and reaching their full human potential. And our three tenets that guide our actions are greater access to services, excellent customer service, and quality, competent care. It is Thursday, November 13th, 2025. And I'm so excited to bring more information to our followers today about our R.I.S.E treatment facility. This facility has been in the works for a couple of years now. You might have heard about it by now. It's finally, though, becoming a reality. Our team has been working diligently behind the scenes to make this happen here in Northeast Louisiana. And we are so excited to bring you even more information about that on today's episode. So to talk more about this treatment center with me today, we have Mrs. Janice Rogers on the episode. Mrs. Rogers is the Director of Integrated Care here at Northeast Delta Human Services Authority. Welcome to Transformation Thursdays, Mrs. Rogers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm super excited to talk about R.I.S.E Treatment Center.
Of course. So Janice, I know we talk a lot about this, but I'm so excited to bring some of the things that we've been talking about so much recently to the public and to the forefront for our followers. So first, Mrs. Rogers, I know that we've been talking about R.I.S.E. We've mentioned it a couple of times, even here on Transformation Thursdays, but can you just kind of quickly go through and remind our audience what R.I.S.E. is? What really and who really is it meant to serve?
Sure. Yes. So to get started with it, R.I.S.E stands for Reaching Independence Through Support and Education. This concept came about by engaging our staff members actually to help us name the treatment center over a year ago. And that was one of the names selected or chosen by our executive director to move forward with naming the treatment center. But R.I.S.E is a treatment center that's providing residential treatment programming for pregnant women with substance use disorders, and also allowing them to bring up to 2 of their dependent children with them, provided that the children are under the age of 13. And what really makes R.I.S.E treatment centers so unique is the population that we're serving. We're able to make this a truly family-centered environment, and also making sure that it is truly about the integration of their care and what they need. That means us working with the mom and also the children that may come with her to ensure that we're working with them from an integrated care perspective, meeting them where they are, working on the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, making sure that we're working on all aspects of their system, because the human system is very connected. And we want to make sure that we bring behavioral health services, primary care services, largely in partnership with one of our partners, R.I.S.E Monroe, but we're also bringing wellness services to them as well. Also across our developmental disabilities sector, being able to engage any persons that may come to R.I.S.E that may have a developmental disability. But we're working to make sure that all of their addiction-related needs are being met as we help them move through their recovery journey. Now, while the moms are there, they'll receive substance use treatments, they'll receive mental health care, primary medical service treatment, as I said, in partnership with R.I.S.E Monroe, and then, of course, any parenting support that we're able to provide them, all in one place. Really working that angle of integrated care. They'll be able to live with their children in a very safe environment. very nurturing, while also learning how to rebuild their own lives, learning how to strengthen bonds between them and their children. And then, of course, eventually transitioning back into a community with all of the supports that have been put in place with them, while also helping to transition them into any other supports they may need long term. Our goal is to help make sure we're breaking the cycle of addiction, breaking the cycle of trauma, and replacing that with recovery, stability, hope for the entire family unit, for the entire person. And so that's what we're doing. While they're there, they'll be meeting with a bunch of different medical professionals, therapists, nurse, care management staff, even, who will be those that are really working on those resources, pulling them together, helping to expand any partnerships that we already have and any that we need to build upon as well.
Yeah, I think just hearing you talk about the integrated care aspect with this population seems even more important than ever, because pregnancy already can be so scary and there's just so many factors that go into it. And then if you add someone who's trying to go through addiction treatment at the same time, it's just, that's a tough thing, and it's also sometimes scary, and individuals might be hesitant to come to a facility during that time. And so I think what you mentioned about making sure that, hey, this is going to go right along with your pregnancy care. And, Oshner LSU is literally like down the street from the R.I.S.E facility. So it's really meant to make it easier during that time, and to try to make everything more streamlined and not complicate a time that's already complicated for anyone, but really streamlining that process for these families.
Absolutely. It's very spot on, Miss Katie. Thank you for reiterating that. Yeah, the importance is it's really, really significant, not only for our region, but also, for the state of Louisiana. So we just want to make sure we're doing our part to help move the needle and help transform lives.
Yeah, so can you talk a little bit about why it's so important? I mean, I know that this topic has recently come up quite a bit in our state. So can
Mhm.
you talk about like why? And I know you talked about the naming and everything, but how this even came about as an important issue in our state and in our region?
Mhm. I think one thing to really focus on here is just the fact that Louisiana as a whole ranks among the highest in the nation for both maternal mortality rates being significantly high and also infant mortality rates being significantly high. And then, of course, if you look at our particular region, the rural nature of our region really provides an even more critical element to the fact that individuals live in underserved areas where the care is it's not easily accessible for them. There are so many barriers that are in place that reduces the chances of individuals being able to receive the services that they truly need. In our region, we have barriers such as transportation, and then we're still dealing with the stigma that's attached to moms being pregnant and using substances. A while back, we actually did a tour, so to speak, going to different places in our region, going to different partners in our region, and just hearing about barriers that they feel are existing for persons in our region. And one of the things that came about was pregnant women or moms in general, who have a substance use disorder and not being willing or able to seek treatment because of the stigma that's attached to that. One, being able to stay home with their kids or having their kids removed from the home for whatever reason, which is a leading cause that they may have that kind of tells them, I can't get treatment right now because I have to care for my kids. I have to make sure that my kids are in home and not being displaced and removed, or my custody being taken from me. So just knowing that that's one very significant barrier that a lot of women face is something that we want to help make sure that we're an avenue that they feel comfortable seeking services, and they know that we have significant partnerships in place that's going to help make sure that they can bring their kids with them. They're able to seek out services, get those services, bond with their children in an environment that's really conducive to making sure that the family moves together on a recovery journey, a journey that's trauma focused, helping to make sure that, you know, anything that they're going through, any challenges that they have, being able to move past them being inpatient or in the residential treatment facility into a community where they can experience long-term success is exactly what we are here for.
Yeah, and I think that stigma, breaking that stigma is so challenging, and that's a huge goal of R.I.S E, is as you were talking about it. And I think it's important for our followers to know that this is a big state initiative. I mean, this is something that our state does care about and that our region cares about. And
Absolutely.
so we're lucky enough to be able to really be opening this and spearheading this, but that it's really a group effort at the state level. And so it is something that everyone sees the need for, and that we're really just so ready to get it going. So with that being said, I know again we've talked about this a few times, and there's been some delays really because of things out of our control. But when do we expect the R.I.S E facility to open?
So we are expecting to open the doors of R.I.S E Treatment Center in the spring of 2026. Right now, we are still, yes, I know, right? We are still undergoing some renovations to the actual treatment center itself. And so there are some moving pieces that the state is still responsible for right now. But as an agency here, we are continuing to move forward to ensure that where we have room to make sure that all things are ready and we are able to start welcoming the women and their children come spring 2026, we are doing just that. Once the treatment center opens, I mean, we expect to see very large scale transformations happening, not only here in our region, but also across our state, not just for the current generation, but also for future generations. We are really working to make sure that we're able to work with these moms, help to heal them, because we know when the mom is healed or healing in her journey, the children that may come with her, they have better chances of being able to thrive and be able to emotionally develop and academically experience successes all across the board. So we really want to make sure that we're doing our part. And with several partnerships, we'll definitely be able to do that. We have some other things on the horizon as well, but definitely come spring 2026, our goal is to make sure that we are welcoming women and their children into R.I.S E Treatment Center.
Absolutely. I clapped because we're so excited to get the ball rolling on this. And again, we've been kind of itching to get this open for a while now. And the fact that the end is near, that the end of one phase and the beginning of this all starting is so near, is so exciting for our agency. So if someone's listening today and maybe they work for a place that might refer clients to us, or they might be thinking of family members that would be a great fit for the facility, or they themselves might feel like they might be a great fit for this facility. Whenever we do, have that set opening date and all that, and we start enrolling individuals, how will that work once we open that enrollment, and how can people find out when we do that?
Mm-hmm. So the plan is to make sure that as we approach opening day, we're able to really make sure the word is out there about how people can either refer themselves, or how any other agencies or persons in our area or in our state are able to make referrals to us as well. There'll be information on our website. We'll also continue to use our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-256-2522. But we'll have a complete intake process that will be designed even before we start opening, because there is such a great need. We'll be opening it up for intakes to start happening, and then we'll start to set dates of admission for any persons post our active date that we're saying we're welcoming women and their children into the treatment center. But there will be an assessment process that's absolutely required, which would entail the woman or the woman coming on site, completing an intake process that's already established, and is generally what we do already for any persons that are coming in for services through our clinics. And then from there, we'll be able to determine what level of care is absolutely necessary for them, and being able to make sure we're able to submit documentation to have them approved for admission into the treatment center. Now, the length of stay is very variable, but we're always going to go according to what is clinically necessary for the women. And then let me also add too, although the children are not the primary persons for admission, we also have a schedule that is catered to the children and their particular development and their needs. And so they'll have their own programming that they will be able to participate in as well whenever they're not in school or in a daycare setting. And then there's also activities for the families to do together.
Amazing. Yeah, I think one thing that makes Northeast Delta such in a unique primed position to open a facility like this is that we also have our treatment facilities for after they leave R.I.S.E too. I mean, I know you mentioned this beforehand, but really R.I.S.E is not a, come for a little while and then leave. We want this to be a full engagement process with that family, where if you're a R.I.S.E resident, you're a R.I.S.E resident forever, and that we will really help you continue that journey past that time of delivery, past the time that they leave R.I.S E, because we do have so many options, not only that we manage, but also we have great resources in our region that we can refer families to. So really R.I.S E is just going to be a stepping stone in that journey, and that it's really going to be a continuous process even after they leave the facility too.
Oh, definitely. Once in Northeast Delta, always in Northeast Delta. Let me say that what we do from an integrated care perspective continues throughout everything that we do as an agency. That's from the treatment services we provide at the clinics to the prevention and wellness services and activities that our staff do in the community all the time. Hence our Artist Therapy Festival, any summits that they may put on, all different types of things that they do for the community as well. And then, of course, our developmental disabilities program. Any person that comes through the doors of Northeast Delta have access to anything that we do, and also to any of the partners that we have, because we can't do it all, we always end up seeking out partnerships that tie back to our mission, vision, and tenets to further help, further assist with the integration of care and looking at the whole person and being able to meet their needs.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Ms. Rogers, for just helping explain some of the R.I.S.E is a big project, right? And so there's a lot that goes into it. And I know that it's even hard to talk about in this shorter period of time because there's so much that's really being poured into this facility. So thank you so much for just providing that additional information about the R.I.S.E Treatment Center. Again, we look forward to providing more updates. We will be providing more updates. If you haven't already seen, you will see. We're posting on our social media about R.I.S E. Those will continue to come. We're going to even be ramping that up as we get closer towards the grand opening. So if you want more information about R.I.S E, there are quite a few ways to continue to stay up to date on this. So one is that you can visit our website, and that is at NEDHSA.org. You can also call us at the number that Janice already mentioned, which is 800-256-2522. You can also stay up to date, and honestly, probably the best way to stay up to date with everything that's going on at Northeast Delta HSA is to follow the Phoenix. Now, you can follow the Phoenix on a lot of different social media channels. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. Those are all NEDHSA. So, Ms. Rogers, thank you so much again for joining us today and being a wonderful guest here on Transformation Thursdays. Thank you all so much
Thank
for being part of this one. We were very excited to bring this to you if you couldn't tell. But we just encourage you to go be great today, and we will see you on the next episode of Transformation Thursdays. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.